Pickup Studio Live 2020 GSL Season 3 Codes Last Stand.
Okay, we're back, and we have the next two matches set up here. It's going to be Patience versus ByuN, and then Parting versus Bunny.
Yeah, so a couple more TVPs, maybe all TVPs, who knows. I gotta say something, Tasis. I think Patience is gonna beat ByuN.
You think Patience is going to beat ByuN here?
Yes.
You might be right. He had a very unique approach to that. He has a wobbly opening and a very strong finisher. Now, that being said, I feel like ByuN is very, very strong early and on through the game. In the past, we've said ByuN has had some questionable strategic decisions, but I don't want to mark him and brand him with that too much here since it's been quite a while since he's been away from GSL. I guess the opening is going to be the most important part. How is Patience going to handle the control play from ByuN? And is ByuN going to be controlling well enough that he's not overextending? Because I think if Patience can just win some fights on the defense, he might end up with strong offense in the end game.
Yeah.
Our game has loaded up. It will be Eternal Empire for map 1. Let's go.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우리는 더욱 강하다. 팀 LP, Patience, 조지현. 변현우.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, like, theoretically, how should you play against Patience, right?
I actually think he's going to do the same thing he did in the other games, right? Is this
Patience?
gonna...
Yes.
No, I mean, ByuN. Is he going to come up here and put an eBay down and just...
Oh, probably.
I don't think that's wrong, but I mean, it does seem like he definitely came in here with with an angle on this matchup. Yeah, he's going to put the eBay down here now.
Okay. I mean, not too surprised to see it. Going to send this probe down, and it's going to be way too late. We'll see how Patience decides to deal with that. I think you just get the Zealot out and tech up a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah. So in the game that we had that ByuN did this against Parting actually took a third base in a less than ideal location. I don't know if Patience is going to do that now, but it's fun to see how two players that are very different in style react to the same build.
Well, I don't want to see him take the third, because if there's one person I do not trust to stop Hellions going into an off position natural, it's Patience.
Yeah, he has a hard time.
He needs to stay with, his main thing here, which I think is trying to build an army that's just about unstoppable. The thing is, it's not completely unstoppable. There are ways to play against it, right?
Like, oh, sure.
It's just if you keep on washing up against it with bio units, like if you just play a very harass-heavy game where you're all over the place, that type of play can be very fantastic against like a more gateway-centric player, right?
Yeah.
But when you're playing against someone that's just building the robo units, it's like, well, it doesn't really matter how good your micro is when he has 5 Colossus and 4 Disruptors, like, right? That's
right.
It doesn't matter who's microing. It can be all the best Terran players in the world, each controlling one Marauder, and he's still going to kill you. So you're going to have to go up the tech tree with him. You can go up a little bit slower because your economy should be better, right? Unless he gets you with the DT drop. But yeah, I wonder if ByuN will do that.
And I'm also interested in seeing if we do have DT tech here, because Patience seemed very comfortable with it. And this DT play, it's very different from a lot of the history of DT plays that we've had here in GSL. A lot of times if you went for a Dark Shrine, it meant you were trying to do something extremely dramatic early on. We'd have these PVZs where you try to just surprise them and have DTs come in and maybe kill the hatchery. Or you try to come in and they just weren't ready for DTs at that time. And it seems to me like Patience just sort of has them as another tool in his toolkit of options.
They're basically just invisible Zealots, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they cost a lot more
Well,
and
the thing is,
require way more
they can
tech.
spot. It's very good if your opponent's trying to make an expansion somewhere and they're not on top of it. Especially against Terran, I mean, you just kill the SCV and then that completely halts whatever was happening over there. A lot of times you can kill the building right after that too. So yeah, I think it's especially good against Terran for just some control play here. Again, we don't know if he's going to do it, but it has been a feature of his PVT here. And by the way, this might be a day of GSL where we only have PVT.
Yeah, it is.
Where it's like you have to be good at this matchup in your respective race or you do not advance.
Showing right now on screen that Patience did not see the third command. He should be able to know that third command is there based on what he saw. There was not enough for there not to be a third command, right?
Right.
So, like, he saw 1 gas, 2 racks, and a factory that wasn't done at 4 minutes or so. So that's, like, pretty obvious.
Yeah, you have to have those income of that go somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that should be pretty clear. Pretty self-evident that he's going to go for that.
Little ByuN move out here.
Yeah, this is funny looking. It's just Marines, which usually you don't want to have just Marines out on the map, especially if you don't have a medevac that can bring them back home.
He's going to have stim when he gets there.
Yeah,
so
stim
that's really kind of cool.
So maybe he just comes up here, stims, wins the fight, says no thank you, no third for you.
All right, cancels it. Going to run away now with these stalkers, but some damage being put on him. Oh, that was actually really good force fields. Really nicely done.
Now, here's what I'm wondering is, like, these Marines can't actually ever get back home if the Stalkers just come after them. Stalkers are actually faster. Stalkers are actually just better than Marines if you can catch up to them. Blink stun, so you can blink away.
Yeah.
I think the idea here...
But you'll still lose them.
Yeah, I was going to say, the idea here is that you micro them away.
Well, ByuN was as efficient as you can truly get there.
So that was a big win for ByuN. That's a very unusual approach to just have your army come out. That's all the Marines he had made up until that point. So they all came out.
Yeah,
this
very
is also,
strange.
He's taken a third base, so it's like there is definitely stuff that can be counterattacked here. But he did not only deny the Nexus, but he killed some Stalkers. And Protoss doesn't have a lot to work with early on with this build. It's one of the reasons why you get the blink is so you don't lose the Stalkers and you can get them where you need them to go so you actually win the fights you need to win.
Very cool and interesting attack there from ByuN. Now, he has a turret set up for this Prism. There's 3 DTs. One is going to the third, one's going to the natural, and the other one drops off a DT in the main base. Let's see how ByuN deals with this. All right, already a decent amount of SCVs going down. Oh my god, he actually... Okay, yeah, he does have a scan for that one.
Kill that DT. There's another one hitting the third here.
Did he lose the third DT?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I didn't catch that.
But eight probe kills, and we know he lost 1 to 2 DTs there. I think it's all right. He's getting that third base. 1-1 on the way. Colossus on the way.
But I do think that ByuN has got a pretty good lead here.
Yeah, I do not disagree with that. I think just what he did with the initial Marines was a little bit better than what we saw right there, even though some workers actually went down.
Yeah, killing 2 birds with 1 stone there, the Observer and the DT.
Yeah, well, that's okay because he just replaces them with 2 DTs. Each Observer you kill is just another DT that's going to be on the map. All right, going to go ahead and drop off into the natural, or is he going to fly to the main?
Not a bad idea. If he needs to, he could try to pick this up, just like that. Doesn't lose the War Prism. You know, having the depots plugged behind the minerals makes it harder unless you lower them for your Marines to actually get back there and catch that. Let's see how this drop does over here in the natural.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to do all that well, to be honest. He has a Colossus coming back to help out. Kills a couple Zealots so far. Oh, he's actually diving on the Colossus.
Does he get it?
That's a big kill. That's a really good kill.
Now, this is what Bunny was failing to do here against Parting earlier, is that the Colossi were never actually reduced in numbers.
Yeah.
This is ByuN's control that is just insane. Look at this. How is he almost winning this entire fight here?
Yeah, no, he did very, very well with that. And killing the Colossus, I think, is such a clutch moment.
Oh, man.
Now he has 1 Colossus instead of 2, and he lost extra Stalkers there.
And you got to be careful. ByuN might try to dive on that Colossus as well, especially if it overextends.
Yeah.
Like it's doing right now. If we don't...
It was for a moment.
This was like a Twilight Zone episode where I thought that my casting was actually changing the game, where I'm like, oh my god, did I make that go too far?
Maybe you and Patience are just a similar style. I don't know.
Just me and Patience holding the Ouija board together, saying stuff. I'm like, are you moving that? Patience, me neither.
All right, gonna put up some static D here. Another Colossus gonna be popping out very shortly. What's he have at his third base? Is that where the Colossus is?
I think so.
All right, a little unload. 2-2 is on the way right now. We don't have a second Robo yet, though, do we? Because that's kind of like the moment when you know Patience is getting ready to win the game, right? When he gets that second Robo pumping.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're still waiting for that moment to happen here. I think ByuN is playing a much better game than Bunny, though.
Oh, yeah.
Everything
it
is
does look
much cleaner.
Well,
like, look, he just looks at that and goes, nope, gonna back up.
Honestly, I felt like Bunny did look pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
But
he didn't look bad.
ByuN is
but
doing a couple things that are more important.
well, like, look, he's safely escaping over there. He's going to drop in the main. He's got like 3 different attacks set up, and he's defending back at home.
All right, a big drop into the main base. Ooh,
Getting
this
the
could
forward
be
would be
big.
a good move, especially that one pylon.
Look at this. He has, oh my God. So many important things that are, oh, the Forge with +2.
Thermal Lance, too.
The DT Shrine. Oh my God.
Not our shrine.
Not our shrine.
Not our shrine.
Oh, and now he's going to get on top of the Colossus.
Oh, he's going to kill a Colossus? Oh my God. I don't know what they're trying to show us here with this zoom out. What?
Well, there was like a little scuffle at the third.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, not too much going on. There's so little here. He's just... the fact that ByuN has been able to pick off some Colossus is the most important part of this, I think.
Does ByuN's Marauders get more armor? Like, how is this?
Oh, yeah, no, that's
a special upgrade
hush
that only he
hush.
gets. Yeah.
like, ByuN is actually a gold leaguer, but we buff his units. We needed to spice up the GSL somehow.
Yeah. Okay, retreat out now.
Okay, I really want to see a second Robo go down, to be honest. Like, that's what I want, because you see what ByuN is doing? He's going pure Marine Marauder Medevac right now. Oh, God, now he's actually adding in some Vikings as well, a second starport. He is building a bit more technicality onto his army.
Hey, not bad defense here by Patience. Those Colossi are not quite being touched. That was a very good fight that he took. Oh, but he overextends, almost dies
back
on
that
top.
up, back that up! All right, there you go. Overcharge, gonna save that one. Heal it right up. Okay, there's the second Robo, and he started a Disruptor and then canceled and went into another Colossus. So, yeah, I gotta agree. 3 Colossus is not enough. That's, you know, that's such a normal number. You need 4 to 5 Colossus.
Yeah. You need 6 with 3 Immortals if you really want to.
What you need is enough so that they can't all fire at once, you know?
Right, right. You want 2 moving around in the back, trying to shoulder their way in there. So ByuN's now taking his 4th base, and right now, Patience is pretty squeezed. He's still on just his 3 bases.
Yeah, has ByuN done enough damage that when Patience is ready to move with his army, he'll be able to take it out?
I think the answer is yes.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's controlled this game enough and punished in enough locations that we are getting towards a finisher here where Patience actually has to move out, and ByuN can probably just kill him.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong, but
you hope you're wrong. ByuN moving on is actually good for the tournament.
it is. It is. But let's see.
Well, okay, here's what I like about Patience's position is his 3-3 is like a third of the way done. He's taking a 4th. He's going to have a lot of disruptors now. Like, I think ByuN did a very good job thus far.
Well, I think he's going to be able to force this thing to cancel. I don't know if the army can even get here in time.
That's 1 cancel. He did 5 cancels against Bunny.
Yeah, but I think
so what about that, Tasteless?
Check and mate, friend.
Yeah. All right, he actually loses.
This is what I'm scared of, is that ByuN is much better at controlling. And these Vikings...
Robo units don't care as much about control, you know?
That's
like,
true.
Thermal Lance, its range is long. You're not going to kite Thermal Lance.
Yeah, it's not Thermal Dagger.
No. It's a good point.
Okay, he's going to try to chase him.
I guess it's not Thermal Handshake, Tasteless,
no,
okay? You don't need to be right next to someone for it.
So, Protoss is starting to edge in here, and again, it's the Colossi and the Disruptors in the back that make it just hard for the infantry to stand and shoot their guns and fire, but Let's see. Again, ByuN is just known for having impeccable movement on the map.
Dude, he's making a lot of Liberators
Oh.
right now, which I think can help quite a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I think that Colossus do okay against Liberators because you can move around really rapidly, as opposed to High Templars, which is a little bit more difficult. But yeah, 2 cancels. Okay, let's see. But I really do like the fact that he's adding those in. I think it's going to help immensely.
ByuN's maxed out, and although these disruptor shots are a threat, it does seem like there's just enough damage happening here that, like, ByuN is just maintaining the lead. Again, these bases are not going to be allowed to finish. This is really great map control here by ByuN. I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah. His rotation is just awesome.
Yeah, and look, he can literally go back up now and kill off that Nexus it's making again. Oh, great Liberators over here, locking the Protoss out of that location.
Huh. Well, there are some tricky ways you can deal with these
Whoa.
Liberators. You have so many Stalkers in this situation.
Okay, I'm not even sure what's going on here. It looks like the Vikings are continuing to do damage to the Colossi, but 2 still survive.
That definitely was better for Patience, I would say, right?
I
Like,
think
he lost
you're right.
1 Colossus there, killed almost the entire air army as well.
Yeah.
The Disruptors just keep everything off, and then the Stalkers shoot everything down. More Colossus on the way.
The problem is that ByuN was maxed out for a while. It looks like he's going to try to catch up again, but he definitely did not take that fight correctly. This is Patience. He's on to something with this, because it looks like on paper the Protoss is losing, but then when the fight actually happens...
He is playing pre-Legacy of the Void PvT, basically, is what we're seeing, right? And then he also has the Disruptor added in, which is kind of nice. Yeah, he's making death balls and he's going. It's like, yeah, my army just keeps getting stronger.
I'll have a better army, just give it time.
Yeah.
You make your gun, boys. And then I'm going to come in here with alien weapons and win the game.
Well, I liked that he added in the Liberators, but maybe he moved a little bit too quickly with them.
Yeah, it seems like he thought he had some kind of insane advantage, and then all the Stalkers shot down the Liberators and Vikings, and, like, that advantage is now gone.
I think when you have this many bases against Patience's 3, you can slow it down quite a bit for your pushes. You know?
Yeah, I think so. So from here, he can start to leapfrog with the Liberators. Now, the agenda for ByuN is to try to come back in here and stamp out the 2 12 o'clock bases. Again, there's not a lot these Disruptors can do about this, but... Oh, he actually stimps through that. Beautifully done. Great targeting on that. Oh, man.
Well, he's definitely picked off a lot of really high-quality units there, but the Colossus remain. The Colossus push everything back. He really needs to bring them back and heal up a little bit with some shield batteries, I think. He does not want to lose his base. Ooh, very nice Disruptor hit.
Yeah, hitting those 2 ghosts is really important. I love the DTs here to kill off reinforcements.
Look at that, just going to blink forward here and pick off some of these. Another great Disruptor shot as well. Gets rid of the Liberators that are in range of him.
Okay, he takes out the DTs that were chasing him from below as well. I think he's actually going to rotate over here.
We're on 6 Colossus right now.
Yeah, but there's not much else defending the Colossi. Over time, it's like, what, like 4 or 5 Stalkers over here helping to defend. If he can really start to win a fight, I guess he can't. There's just so many Colossi. As there's like 2 more Stalkers left where it should be time to actually kill the Colossi. Patience just has too many.
This is kind of hilarious. He's got like 2 Stalkers, 6 Colossi walking across the map. And by the way, he lost almost every Disruptor there. They just kind of walked forward during the battle.
Yeah. Well, can he actually come in here? This is kind of a funny spot to try to attack into.
You can't. That's the worst place ever.
Well, hold your tongue, Artosis. Patience says otherwise.
Yeah, but look at this. ByuN is fanning out right now.
Damn,
Still,
that
there's
damage.
so many Colossus.
It's so crazy. Is he going to come down here and try to push on the planetary?
I think you have to make 1,000 Vikings, right?
I think so. I mean,
you need like a lot of them.
All right, he's decided he's not going to take this fight. He'll just keep walking.
No, I'm just going to go over to the other side.
No thanks, I'll pass. I'll just come around here.
Why not? Yeah, walk up around. Walk up around. That's the way to do it.
So Patience, again, he's not had those 2 bases interrupted for a while.
Ooh, trying to pick off this planetary. Not sure that he's going to get it right away. It's kind of hard to engage into that.
Yeah.
Especially with a couple Liberators there.
This might allow ByuN to have enough time to assemble an army and actually fight this off.
Patience at this point has taken a couple more bases.
Patience is recalled and is now pushing out again, this time with an army that's a much more threatening one, especially with the Stalker count. I mean, everything else can tank so that the Colossi can just keep mowing down infantry. And especially with a Disruptor shot, if you find the sweet spot, like the group where there's just a large number of units along with the rest of this, they have to run back. And so they're taking damage from the Thermal Lance shots as they're still running back from the Disruptors.
Every time that Patience picks off a flying unit, that is like a big victory for him, right?
Yeah, like right there.
I don't think he cares at all about his Stalker count, right? It's just about retaining the Colossus and gaining value from them over time.
I think you're correct. I think the Stalkers are pretty expendable as long as you're throwing them into killing air units.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't care about gateway units. Those are not his finishers. It's all about his mech units here. Colossus Disruptor. These are just their bodyguards.
Okay, Zealot's coming through now.
Okay. Throw a little harassment somewhere. It's not like the most valuable part of the map over there, but anything to take his attention off is probably quite good.
Nice snipes on the medevacs.
Look at this.
Whoa, that was
that was
too much. That was exactly not enough Stalker shots.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like he's going to commit here.
Oh
The Vikings are coming down. Colossi taking a lot of damage. It looks like at least 3 are going to go down.
Okay, he actually, during this, has like a ton of Zealots that weren't fighting as well.
Very weird moment
there.
there.
There they are. I mean, they are starting to engage a little bit. He's losing his Colossus,
He needs
though.
to pick one of those Colossus and kill it. There we go.
Yeah, finally picking those off. A lot of Zealots being made here. And 1 Colossus survived, 2 more are on the way. He does have all these Disruptors as well.
This game is insane, by the way.
It is a wild game. It's hard to even figure out like what is going on here.
Yeah, we do have another base over here on the map right now. I don't feel like either side's able to push it and kill the other. In fact, this might be a bad angle for the Protoss here. If he's not careful, these stray units can actually get shot down. But instead he escapes. I don't know if he's going to recall again.
ByuN is going to run dry pretty soon, Tasteless.
Yeah, that's a good point, Artosis. I think
that base is almost gone, so 6 o'clock is really what he's relying on here.
Keep in mind that actually there was not a... Oh, that's so sick. There was actually not a lot of... how do I say this? The 4th and the 5th haven't been there for very long for Protoss. So yeah, it's a weird game where like Protoss hangs on, has minerals at these bases, and then eventually Terran dries up and needs to take a base of his own. And I think Terran trying to take a base is going to be what makes or breaks ByuN in game 1. If ByuN can actually get a new base up, then the game is going to go on. And I think Patience still has a hard fight, but I worry that this army of Patiences can always beat armies of ByuNs. And in fact, I think Patience is so confident he wants to actually come in here and take out the last mineral-rich location here, which is the planetary. And I don't know that there's actually enough SCVs to really make this work. In fact, yeah, he's just going to get a kill. This may be fatal for ByuN.
It might be. He just is barely mining at this point. Like, he's still trying to harass all over the place. He looks like a little bit confused, I want to say, on his face. If you take a look at it right now, right? Like, he's kind of like, well, what is going on here?
Patience is winning these games in ways that we're not used to seeing Protoss win.
No one really plays like this.
He sort of looks like he's losing the whole game until he has so much that the Terran army is obsolete. And look at this, these lasers connecting. Look at how much damage is being done. And it's mostly just these little flimsy stalkers in the front that are getting killed off. See 3 more Colossi back there. We're going to see GG. ByuN is done.
He is done.
Patience takes game 1.
There you go. Look at Patience just smiles so big after winning. He's like, I don't know, this matchup's easy. Really, I just love watching him play. He plays such an alternate style to everyone else,
well,
a very kind of older style, and he's doing really well.
He knows how to win, too. I mean, it's funny because everything that we normally cast, we'll see somebody, you know, kept off a 4th and a 5th base for that long. You say, well, you're losing. Yeah. And actually, I guess for Patience, he's just shaving off enough infantry, and Terran's sort of locked into that tech for the entire game, right? You know, getting the Marines and the Marauders, and eventually you need Vikings, and eventually you need Medevacs and Ghosts. But when Patience has 6 Colossi, if the Terran doesn't have a perfect engage, which is almost impossible to have, so much of the infantry disappears after the first 2 volleys from each Colossi.
You can almost think of his robo units as bases. You
Yeah,
know?
that's a good
He's
way to
gaining
put it.
so much value off them, it's like he has a 4th and a 5th.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 팀 LP, Patience, 조지현. 변현우.
Yeah, it is to what you were saying before we introed the players, that is a funny concept. Like, there are moments, carriers are kind of like this in StarCraft 1, where it's like sometimes the number of carriers is more important than the bases.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I guess this is another rule here where it's like, actually, if he has 6 Colossi out, and then he has like even a few disruptors with that, that can matter more than like how many bases you're mining from right now, because that will kill off so much, and all you're doing is refilling your army with stalkers. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I made more, and the stalkers can shoot down the flying units. Yeah, some of them will be killed, but eventually the infantry is getting whittled down, and so that's very cool. It kind of reminds me of like how uncomfortable StarCraft players were when Warcraft 3 came out, because they weren't used to evaluating heroes, levels, and items as an asset.
Yeah.
Like, you know, StarCraft, we tend to think of bases. But there are moments where it's like, well, actually, if you have this thing, kind of like when you see these all-ins that Protosses have done in the past, where they like cannon rush into Immortal. It's like, well, actually, the number of Immortals is the most important thing. And the War Prism. It's not really a game anymore about, I've got 2 bases, you have 3, or something like that. And it's funny to see this kind of weird way that I think is probably pretty frustrating to play against, but this weird way that Patience approaches it, where he just kind of defends and jukes and jives and stops your drops and stays on 3 base. He'll try as much as he can to get a 4th and a 5th, and then eventually he does. And once he does, he then starts to have this momentum where he can start to come back across the map. And it's very hard for Terran to take fights, especially when Protoss is that upgraded.
You know, I feel like as well Terran is almost tying their own shoelaces together, because if you're doing damage to Patience while he's playing like this, it's because you're playing kind of an aggro harass style with lots of bio units, right? Whereas he's just building up, so it's like, yeah, you're keeping pressure on him, and you're spending all your money on these lower tech units and trying to do all this harassment. But he's building stuff that beats that. So there's going to be this moment where it's actually very hard for you as the Terran player, because he's going to get up to these... The same thing that kept him from growing too much is what he's going to punish with what he's making on lesser bases.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of times you see players halt Colossi and try to switch into something else, and maybe that gives them more counter punches in the game. And what's funny is, like, I think all these Terrans, when they're playing against Patience, assume they're going to win.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait a minute. He has too many Colossi now.
Well, anyone that would switch out of the robo units and go like more gateway heavy, Bunny and ByuN both would have won against. Whoa.
Okay, so this time ByuN tried to just kick through here, and was actually a little bit late on his control. But he's actually killing a good number of probes, and this is actually 3 Hellions over here. Great pylons thrown down here.
Wow.
But he can actually go around the other side. Can he actually get a wall up over here? That was... Oh, hello.
Okay, well, a lot of cool-looking moves. Unfortunately for him, he's lost a huge amount of economy for just 4 Hellions.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. And this is a game that ByuN is playing where he's like, I don't want to go to the 5 base game.
No.
We'll worry about 5 bases if you survive this.
Yeah.
So 8 probes killed already. That's pretty dramatic when you're on 2 bases to start. And he is going to come in here and try to get a few more kills. And there's not a lot of Protoss units here. Also, the placement that now remains here is going to make it a little bit annoying to try to catch the mines.
Yeah. He's not like super prepped against this. He doesn't have a lot of anything going on. He just kind of has to rebuild his economy. I'm surprised he left his ramp so quickly against those Hellions, to be honest. That's where the damage really started to stack.
Okay.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Six more kills. And there's not a Widow Mine that's been picked off yet. Another one's going to come down here. Oh! Almost, actually. That could have been insanity damage.
That was almost the end of the world.
Oh, is he going to save it?
It's too bad. He could have even right-clicked it with the Sentry at one point there.
We'll just hide out over here.
He's going to have to. Oh, never mind. He's not even going to babysit it. Okay, so 16 probes.
That's so much damage. Now, you notice, guys, he's remaking the workers pretty well here. I mean, he's almost caught up. He's 32 to 40, but I mean, this is quite a bit of damage, and it's very clear looking at ByuN's base, he's amassing pretty fast. He's going to be coming in here and trying to do quite a bit of damage again. If you get hurt too much in the early game, a lot of times the push strategy can just end the game.
Yeah, that might even be the right type of choice, right? Like, just maybe pop a Raven out.
He's got one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Because the Raven is going to both detect the DTs and disable the first Colossus.
Yeah, and if you have a fight that looks like it's close and there's no key unit to disable, you have auto turrets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like,
absolutely.
You're in really, really, really good shape.
So I think,
I would even imagine what he'll do is he'll push through the left side of the map and try to free that medevac up, and then get the Widow Mines with the push.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I don't know why I went push. Like I'm that scientist in Jurassic Park trying to make the dinosaur hatch, but push. Yes, push. So,
yeah, I like where ByuN's head is at here. Like, if he does do this push, I think I think he'll hatch and go into game 3.
I'm glad to see that ByuN is really adjusting his play style to try to, in this case, basically avoid having to even play a game like the last game, or a game like the games that Bunny lost. Oh my God! You are the greatest.
That
He's the
pickup
greatest.
that was insane, man.
He's the greatest.
Okay, 4 DT drop is incoming. +1 in stim about to finish. Oh, I think it.
Research.
Oh, did he see it? Yeah, I guess he must have.
He knows.
Yeah, he moved some units up. Okay.
It's funny when he picked that tank up. I saw. I'm like, well, it is probably possible, but he's not going to do it because that's just, you have to be so fast.
That's ByuN for you.
Sieging up. That's definitely where Protoss will book it out of there. Drops over here with DTs. And yeah, that's not. Oh, even gets one out here to try to chase him around.
Not bad. Did you see that misclick?
Yeah.
That very clear misclick on picking up the DT.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he actually recalls it home. That's actually really good for Patience. Every single game we've seen him so far, he loses that Prism.
He's adapting.
He's learning.
He's learning. He's learned how to open doors. Now, the push is coming across the map now. Again, I think this push is still a real threat, despite how cool and fancy the harass has been here for Patience. I am worried for Patience that ByuN is just going to smash him. Okay, Archon's here. Wow, this is actually a pretty scary army here.
Yeah.
And sieging up, it's just the right time to do this.
Okay, well, the disables on the Archon's doing a pretty darn good job.
Oh my God, that was amazing. GG! Nice. ByuN just smashes face.
Yeah, I like that game a lot from ByuN, but Patience, I really don't understand why he came down the ramp. He's like, you know what? I have 5 probes. Let's chase these 4 Hellions with a Stalker and a Sentry. And then, like, that's where he really took all the damage that it was very hard to come back from. Then the mine drop stacked on top of that.
Yeah.
And then he just didn't really have that much there at the end. I feel like the mid game he played all right?
Yeah.
With getting the DTs out. Well, maybe that early aggression and trying to pick him apart is the way to go.
So we're going to go to the final map with these two. One player will advance to the round of 16, and then there's just one spot left and 3 more players in the round of 24. ByuN seems like he's adapted. I'm very curious what he's going to do in game 3 and if we're going to have an adjustment from Patience or if he's just going to try to force the issue again and win the way he's been winning his PVTs today here.
All right, I'm excited for it. ByuN with that bit of aggressive early game counterplay, but is Patience going to fall to that twice?
Yeah, ByuN's won once, but is there another approach that ByuN has, or what does he have? I don't know. Game 3 has loaded up, the final game between these two. Let's do this. Patience versus ByuN, a fight to the round of 16.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 팀 LP, Patience, 조지현. 변현우.
The ByuN is back in town.
It's so nice to have him back. He's just such a fun player.
Yeah, well, he's so good at control, and he's so tactically exciting.
And now we have all 4 of the horsemen back active at the same time.
That's right.
There's a hole in my
Get your
Terran
stables
ship car.
ready.
Yeah.
Clearly, ByuN doesn't care if you know that he does this or not. He is eBaying
Yeah, he just likes
all
it.
day.
Well, I always like the idea of screwing up your opponent's opening.
Yeah, I think it's good. If you know how to carry it out to the next step, I think it's a really good idea.
Well, he's been going Marine a lot after it. I want to see, like, if him and Parting rematch later, I want to see a Nexus first. He gets there, he's like, oh no, there's like nothing to do here. Nexus is already down. That would be a good counter to it. Although that's the game he proxy Reaper, he's like, oh, that's too bad.
No. So the Zealot comes down here. Is Patience going to make the Nexus at the 3rd phase?
No.
No, he's not going to give in.
No, even when it's at his natural, he
Yeah,
loses
that's true,
all his
actually.
probes,
The
okay?
Hellions just came down and did a lot of damage. It's so
Yeah.
funny how Patience is so clunky with his play, but like he does win. And he wins in this very different way, which almost seems like he kind of knows more than everybody else. Like, or he has some kind of concept that like, no, this works and you guys haven't figured it out, but I'm still having a bumpy ride with the rest of the game.
Honestly, I find it to be pretty complex, the ideas around unit retention. It's actually what I've been personally working on for myself a lot lately, and it's such a powerful concept. And the thing is, concepts like this, it's like when people hear them, they're like, of course I knew that. It's like, no, you probably actually don't understand. But like the idea of like your whole game plan is building robo units, keeping them alive, and hitting that. It's like, it seems very simple. Well, if it's so simple, why is he the only pro gamer doing this?
Yeah, we've had a lot of players that will have Immortals bled off, you know, or they have 2 Colossi and that's eventually killed, and then they don't make any more of them, you know?
Yeah, they'll switch it up. They'll get really mobile and have some cool harassment tactics and stuff like that. And that stuff's great, too. I'm not even saying that Patience's style is the best, but it's fascinating, right? And he's playing different from everyone.
So the Soccer is recalled, only losing shields on that.
Okay, he needs to bring the probes up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
What you need to do here.
Well, if he just like loses all his probes again to this when he knows it's coming, that's not good. Oh, perfect last
Get wrecked.
second. Really good from Patience. Little miss micro there. Could have gotten one more volley off.
But that was really good.
Yeah,
Very good defense there.
ByuN following it up with the mine drop again, but last game he killed like 8 probes with that. This game 0. So right now, Patience with that little bit of an edge. Getting Blink, getting his Robo. Let's see, does he go Colossus Tech first, or does he go DT Tech first? Hard to say. He's been mixing it up.
I feel like it's going to be Colossus again here.
It feels like Colossus first. I agree with that.
So again, we have the next drop coming through. It is going to be Widow Mines in the medevac. Now this game, Patience hasn't really suffered any losses here. I mean, he's playing the game that he wants to play. Oh, miscontrol again there.
He is. That's a good way to put it, because everything is actually going his way so far. Right, here comes the mine drop.
Not mining from these gases, by the way.
Does he see it? Does he see it? Yeah, just in time. Some annoying stuff right there.
Is he going to commit with this, ByuN? Okay, that first mine is going to be shot down. What about the second and the third? 7 kills.
Yeah.
That is enough.
Not the quickest pull there, huh?
I guess he's going to get the medevac.
Okay, this was still way better than last game for him.
Right.
Way better than last game. Last game he lost like 16 probes and didn't get the medevac. He killed like a mine and yeah. All right, no third Nexus as of yet. Getting into that Colossus tech. Only a couple workers behind ByuN right now. Forge coming up. Does he make the Dark Shrine? It seems like it's part of his play, right?
It does seem like it's just an addition to the tech he wants to have. We were talking about this a little bit on break, but you know, one of the things about forcing out scans on not just the observers but the DTs is you have less scans when you're trying to drop.
Yeah.
So, you know, because sometimes you see a DT just scan and kill and you think, do you really want to spend minerals and gas on that? But yeah, but like what if they don't have another scan available for a drop they're trying to do in the main and you kill everything with stalkers?
Yeah, that's a real possibility.
It's a butterfly effect concept where one little thing that seemed insignificant in one part of the game becomes the focal point of the entire game later on.
And don't forget, just knowing where the Terran army is, what angle they're coming from, is one of the most important things, especially with Colossus-based tech.
Oh, yeah.
Because Colossus are very slow. If they drop in your main and you're at your third, you're screwed.
This is pretty cute, just coming in here with Blink. I don't know if there's... it's pretty clear ByuN is not going to make much in that corner over there, so there wasn't much more damage that could be done, so he blinks back out.
Yeah, a little something, though, keeping him busy once again.
It's a good little idea.
Pick off that observer. We do not have DT tech out.
Yeah, nothing so far. It looks like we're going into a much more straightforward approach. Colossi getting more gates, zealot legs, as well as thermalance. But ByuN seems pretty hungry to push on 2 bases and probably hit this third base that we're having a shot of right now. And with this number of units, it seems like some of the upgrades, actually, I guess all the most important ones right now are going to finish when this push gets here, but that doesn't mean that ByuN is going to lose the fight necessarily.
Ooh, nice try there on picking off a medevac. Doesn't quite get it. ByuN a bit too quick.
Can he get up the ramp before the force fields can separate him?
Yeah, he does need those force fields to hit.
Okay, he's going to be able to bypass the first round of force fields. Second round comes up, but siege tanks are now sieged up. Terran does have a foothold where he can start to, if he can inch one more tank in there, maybe start to hit some of these structures with siege mode and pick a fight.
Well, he has double battery, but I think he used his overcharge too quickly here. That overcharge really didn't do anything, and that is such a crucial part of the defense. I think he's going to lose the Nexus, maybe?
Well, if he loses the Nexus, it's a problem, but these stalkers catching the counterattacks are so good. I'm sorry, not the counterattacks, the reconnaissance.
Ooh, loses one of the Colossi. That's actually a very big deal.
Yeah, and he might lose the second one here, too. The medevacs are almost out of energy.
He's got to go very soon here. He has a lot of charge lots. Yeah, if he comes, he's coming from behind. Yeah, here he goes. He blinks forward and starts picking off these siege tanks as quickly as possible. Looks like he will end up holding.
Huge win here for Patience. He's just... I mean, this is where he is his ID there. A lot of other players would have pulled the trigger too quickly.
Yeah.
That was handled just perfectly. The Nexus is at like 15% health. He goes, okay, I've got my counterattack. I killed off your reinforcements.
It looks like it works out for him. You know, he's at almost 60 workers, so that's solid economy. DT tech now coming up. Patience starting to find his stride. Is he overextending right here, though?
I think he's actually okay.
You do?
I think because...
As long as the Colossus get out, I think he's fine.
Well, the problem is also Terran's throwing like 3 or 4 Marines and Marauders in at a time, where it's like, that's a manageable number for that tiny Protoss army. And also, Terran doesn't have a third. Terran needs to get a third.
Oh, that's a very good point. The third command center is not even done yet.
Yeah. I think he almost might have try to counter to get to a third, but there isn't actually one there. And so I think at this point in time, ByuN might have weighed and measured this game and said, I'm going to have to keep pushing. Oh, I'm sorry. There's actually a CC finishing. I don't know why I didn't see that in the production.
It's finishing now, but I mean, on a lot of other games, he would already have it mining.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, he still might need to win with a push here.
Yeah, it's...
The thing is, he never got that Colossus count down to a number where you can do something with it.
I believe he has 3 now, and he's starting Disruptor Tech.
Yeah.
And there's the second Robo that we've grown accustomed to seeing. Another Forge coming up. DT Tech is done as well. I don't think that there's a Prism on the map, is there?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if there was one, but I think for now it's more about just macroing up his patience here and just getting into the same spot he gets into in the games that he wins.
Yeah.
You know?
Lots of Robo
I was saying
units.
earlier maybe he should try to counterattack and get the third, and then I thought, no, wait a minute. That's actually why... That's not what you want to do. I think you want to actually sit back and play single player and just defend. And then later on, you're going to have enough Colossi that maybe you can start to fight this.
Okay, Patience gonna back up there. Doesn't want to overcommit, as you said. DT slipping into the natural. Four kills. Doesn't quite get that ghost. Double Disruptor Tech is being produced.
And for now, everybody, this is basically a game where we're kind of just eyeballing the Robotech here and seeing what Terran can do against it, because the tempo of this game and these PvTs has been kind of unusual. You know, the Protoss seems to be much more passive, and the Terran almost seems to be scrambling to try to end the game, which seems to be almost part of the Protoss's plan, is the Disruptor count and the Colossus count get to an order and a configuration where it's like, how do you actually fight this as Terran?
All right, let's see here. The overcharge goes down.
Stalkers, again, able to buffer for the Colossi. The Disruptor just kind of creates this fundamental problem for the Terran where if you ever step into that, you're going to lose a huge chunk of your army and probably the fight. Protoss is counterattacking with a few Zealots, and that's like just the right number, I think, there.
Yeah, that's
Disruptors
really nicely
again,
done.
he's pushing him off of the Nexus. And you're going to see this pattern of Colossi hitting, Stalkers shooting, then kiting back while the Disruptor ball comes out. And it just, look at this, he just pushes this army out of here. It looks like one Colossus may be taken out. Yes, it will.
Yes. Pretty good control there from ByuN.
But he'll produce another Colossus and install that in with the rest of the army.
Well, you really do want to have at least 3. He does have the double Robo. We'll see if he adds any more.
And he's going to go for a counterattack, and I think these Stalkers are going to hunt this down and maybe even kill this. Oh. All right, this is going to get to unload. Whoa. That was a weird moment where all the abilities were spammed out.
Yeah.
It was like force fields that separated the Marines and Marauders from the Disruptor shots.
That was not supposed to really look like that. Those units were not supposed to be sitting there. So now he's actually lost a lot of his very important tech units here. He does fend off the drop in his main, 1 medevac getting away, and will save his 3rd. Don't forget, he does have a 4th, that pocket expansion below his main base, but he hasn't mined from it. Okay, now we see, I think that was a bad blink. He lost a lot of Stalkers right there.
Yeah, things are looking a little bit sloppy here for Patience, but again, 2 Colossi up here. Maybe there's enough infantry now with the mismanagement there from Patience.
Yeah.
It seems like Marauders and Marines can come in here and actually snipe Disruptors and Colossi and whatever else is left, and I think suddenly ByuN might have won this game.
It really looks like it right now. That's
Damn, GG.
Wow.
ByuN too good.
ByuN in first place at his first GSL back. Amazing. You can see how happy he is with that as well. He'll be joining us in the group selection after this group.
I love how hyped ByuN looks whenever he wins. Gets me excited.
I love that it's a remix of Coffin Dance right now.
Oh, that's right. So we're going to have an interview now. This is so cool.
It really is. But you know what? I've really enjoyed Patience's games tonight. I'm so happy we get to see him again.
I think Patience can still beat Bunny PvT, but I don't know about PvP against Party.
I guess it just matters where he puts his buildings.
Yeah.
But, no. It'll be tough. It'll be tough if
you
he
can
has
really
free
see
party.
the Patience very frustrated with that. He does play well, and he has a really kind of cool approach to the game. I think a lot of us can take away from that. and add that into our own play, you know. Anyways, that interview's ready. Go ahead, Andy.
All right, ByuN is back, and he moves on to the round of 16. Congratulations. Thank you. After finishing your military, you came back really strong. After 2008 GSL Season 3, you took 2 years of hiatus, and you came back. How do you feel? Well, I heard that it's the 10th anniversary year for GSL. And I've been with GSL ever since the early stage. You know, it feels so amazing. And to be honest, you know, I didn't anticipate myself to move on to the round of 16, but I feel really happy today. How long has it been since you came out of the military? I think I finished around September 3rd or 4th. But how did you pick up your skills so quickly? It's amazing. So, you know, if I were you, I think I would want to take a rest before the next season, but you came up here. During my military, I didn't keep playing the game. Back in 2019, I didn't play StarCraft 2 at all. So, you know, I tried to set up a new mindset coming to this season. At first, I was wondering if I took too long of a rest. And as I kept going up in the MMR, I felt that with this rate, I'll be able to make a successful comeback. And you know, generally speaking, I feel really happy. And this dream coming true, I feel really happy. You know, it's been such a long time since we last did an interview with you. Let's talk about the winners match. You did make a comeback victory. And it felt like you had a big understanding after you losing the first set. I actually did. I mean, it was a very advantageous situation for me. And I felt like things weren't working out. And I tried to opt for a different strategy and it worked. And for the second set and the third set, you maintained your composure and you were able to secure your victory. So in the match against Harding in Eternal Empire, and I think I saw like you in your prime. It was a great micro from you. Back when I was playing against Harding, in my last GSL season, I actually got eliminated from Harding. So this definitely felt like a revenge match. And in the third match, I thought I lost because I saw the Dark Templars. But then I had one opportunity that Harding gave me, and I was able to secure that. Well, that was a very exciting match today. And ByuN, now that you're back, you're going to be joining the group nomination that's coming late tonight. Do you think you're going to be picked early in the group nomination? With my current skills, I think I'll be picked pretty early. But as a challenger, whether I be picked early or late, I'm going to try my best. So who my opponent be, doesn't matter. And ByuN, while you were away, TY won a championship and he's now a commentator as well. And he's actually a top seed in the upcoming group nomination as well. So you're going to have to regain your throne, right? Well, I was a champion before, but I've never been a top seed in the group nomination. So this season, you know, I'm already satisfied. But I want to try harder and go to the later matches. Well, even if I win this season, I can't be the top seed next season, so I'm going to try my best. Oh, that was a long interview with you, ByuN. So, any last word to your fans who have been waiting for a long time? I'm sure the fans were expecting a lot from me today. And I think I practiced really hard coming to today's matches.
그만큼 결과가 제대로 나와가지고
And now that the result is good, I'm
너무
really happy.
좋고 그 기대해주신 만큼 다음 경기도 되게 열심히 해서 올라가도록
And just like the fans anticipate a good match from me, I want to show a better performance in the next match. Once again, congratulations on your advancement. Thank you.
He's even better at interviews than he is at the game.
I know.
Man.
Man. Just a killer. So happy to have ByuN back and in such good shape.
Yeah, it's so cool to see how well he's playing. I'm really curious to see how far he's going to go. He gets out first, and now we have 3 players left in the round of 24. Only one's going to advance. We're going to be eliminating one coming up next here. Bunny or Patience. Or Party, excuse me. And we're going to go to break, so we'll be right back.